Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks with an update video today. Have a bit of a chat about what's happened over the last week or so in Spain while I go for a walk with my dog this morning, Saturday morning, the 4th of March. So let's go. Now we'll get the weather out of the way. As you can see, it's a nice sunny day today. The storks are up there in their nests. A few people getting ready for their football game over there, and people leaving this town where I live to start their Saturdays, get out and about and enjoy the day. So a sunny day it is, but a cold day also, 1 degree below at the moment, but getting up to around 14-15 degrees Celsius today, so that is a pro. Now, I haven't done one of these walk around videos for a while. I've been a little bit busy, let's say. I've been doing an English course for the last couple of weeks. That's taking up a lot of my mornings, for example, 3 hours every day. So not able to record these walk around videos. Unfortunately, these YouTube videos don't pay the bills, so I have to teach still, which I don't mind. I talk to a lot of people, get to meet a lot of people here in Spain, and they help me find content for these videos because we talk about topics that the locals talk about in this country. So my mornings are going to be kept busy with teaching for the next couple of months. But as I said, extra money coming into the bank, and you have to make hay while the sun shines, or at least that's what they say. But what I will say is that I have been lucky over the last 24 years or so since I have been living in this country to be an English teacher, and fortunately I have been able to work all of that time and basically without stopping. So that's good in a country where unemployment is generally very high. Now over there we've got the dreaded ITV MOT in the UK, where you have to take your car to get the sticker that shows that it is roadworthy, and I've got to go back there in a couple of months' time to get my car passed and hopefully get the sticker. Every now and again the ITV here in Spain makes headlines because of corruption scandals, and as we know, corruption scandals here in Spain currently dominating the headlines again, especially in the Canary Islands. A new alleged corruption scandal has broken in the Canaries. They're calling it here in Spain the Caso Mediador, or the mediator case, and there are some fairly high-profile figures involved. Politicians, influential businessmen, and a high-ranking Guardia Civil, or police officer. So the trifecta there when it comes to this corruption case. Currently, only one person has been arrested, and that is the general of the Civil Guard, or the Guardia Civil. Now, if you're not familiar with the different types of police forces here in Spain, you've got, as I mentioned, the Guardia Civil. They normally get around in a green or khaki uniform. You've also got National Police. They get around in a dark blue uniform. And then in some autonomous communities, you've got what they call community polices. For example, in Catalonia, the Mossos de Escuadra. In the Basque Country, the police there are known as the Ertzaintza. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's one of those Basque words, difficult for people that are not Basque to pronounce. And then at a local level, for example, here in Madrid, the Madrid City Council has its own police force called the Policía Municipal, and you'll find them in most cities around the country, controlled by town halls. So those are the main police forces in this country. And as I said, the general of this Guardia Civil, he's a general because the Guardia Civil here is like a military police force. They have military training, even though they do general police duties in small towns mainly around the country, and they also control customs and things like that. But as I said, a very high-ranking Guardia Civil involved in this case, allegedly. But as I also mentioned a minute ago, it's not only Guardia Civil, it's also high-ranking politicians. And again, it seems that corruption scandals in this country are never far away. I must admit, I'm a little bit naive when it comes to corruption. I think that it's going to improve with each government. We saw how bad it was a few years ago with the Partido Popular. We saw how bad it was a couple of decades ago with the PSOE party. And again, the PSOE party is involved in this corruption scandal at the very highest level, again allegedly. Because one of the main people implicated in this scandal was a former member of Congress here in Spain. That's the national level politics representing the Canary Islands, but over the last week or so he has since renounced his seat in Congress. Now, as I just mentioned, they're calling this the Caso Mediador, the mediator case. And basically what's happened is that business people and politicians have got involved, I think, because of European subsidies to help farmers out down there in the Canary Islands. And as usual, people are in the middle trying to take their cut. The mediator apparently got politicians together, business people together, and they worked out a complicated scheme to steal European funds. I think the figure currently stands at around 2 million euros, so really that pales in comparison with some other scandals that have hit this country in recent years, but we haven't seen the end of this scandal yet, so no doubt more information will come to light. The government is currently reeling because they don't know how many people are involved in this scandal. Some of the press is saying up to 15 Congress members, so time will tell if more people are involved or not. And a lot of politicians have come out on the front foot saying that they are not involved in this scandal. But remember, we are in an election year this year here in Spain, so no doubt this scandal is going to have an effect on the government's chances of getting re-elected. Some high-profile members of the opposition have said that this case will bring the government down, but let's be honest, they can't really talk considering how dirty that party has been in the past. One newspaper here in Spain, an online publication called The Local, is calling this Spain's version of Partygate, but from what I've seen, it's a little bit more serious than Partygate, because some of the images taken at these parties that were attended by politicians, allegedly, and business people were absolute doozies. Prostitutes, alcohol, cocaine, the list goes on. But according to a person who was at one of these parties and apparently organised some of the parties, that's just the typical Saturday night here in Spain. Drugs, prostitutes, and lots of alcohol. It's not my typical Saturday night, but it must be for a lot of people here in Spain, according to this gentleman. So we'll see how this latest corruption scandal plays out here in Spain over the next few weeks, and if it brings down the government or not. Time will tell. But in any case, sad to see another corruption scandal dominating headlines here in Spain. Now, the town where I live here on the outskirts of Madrid has recently got a new hospital, a private hospital. Valdeluz, as we can see there, belongs to a group called H&M Hospitals, and apparently these private hospitals are all around the Madrid community. And this construction to the right of the hospital is going to be an elderly residence, a hotel residence, I think, where people can stay short-term or long-term, not sure, but it belongs to the same group. A lot of people here would prefer to see a public hospital rather than a private hospital, but I suppose any hospital is better than nothing if you've got private insurance, that is. I recently took out private healthcare here in Spain, but unfortunately the new hospital doesn't accept my insurance company, so that's a bit of an inconvenience for me at least. And here's another look at this hospital from the front. Now, another story that caught my attention this week in the press, and I mentioned it during a live stream, is about the public service or the civil service here in Spain and the amount of Spaniards that want to get a job in the civil service. I can't remember the exact figures, but something like 7 million Spaniards have tried to become civil servants or are currently in the process of studying for public service examinations. Because the dream for a lot of people in this country is to not have to worry about the volatile labour market. And if you become a civil servant, that's something that you don't have to worry about because you can never lose your job, basically. And let's be honest, the majority of public servants are as happy as Larry, while the rest of the population have to live with the ups and downs of the volatile labour market, which, as we know, is a bit of a roller coaster ride, unfortunately. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not anti-public servants. People can do whatever they want, but when you get so many people whose main objective is to work for the government, I think there's a problem somewhere. Because I think in a perfect society, private sector jobs should be more attractive than public service jobs, but that's just my opinion. I mean, let's be honest, the current government here in Spain is not the most business-friendly government, and that obviously makes people think that they're better off working for that government or another level of government in this country. In fact, the business community is currently under attack. In fact, a big Spanish company, a big construction company, the other day said that it's planning to move its headquarters to the Netherlands, a more business-friendly country, a more politically friendly country for businesses. That's part of their reason. Of course, the government is very angry with that company. In fact, if the government had its way, the owner of that company, Rafael del Pino, would most likely be on treason charges for even talking about something like this, or at least that's the message I'm getting from the Prime Minister, Pedro Sanchez. So difficult times currently to be a business owner here in Spain, difficult times to be a business person, whether you're starting a business or whether your business is more established, difficult times. But let's be honest, it's always been tough in this country and in many others to get a business up and running, or at least that's been my experience. On that note, I'll wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. Let us know what you think of the latest corruption scandal here in Spain. Let us know what you think it's like doing business in this country. If you run a business, has it been easy for you or has it been tough? Let me know your opinion on that. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.